this is our presentation for RYLA.
What is RYLA? You may be asking yourself. So it is Rotary's seminar for tomorrow's leaders. They've done it online for a couple of years. This was the first year since COVID that it's been like in person. And it was basically, there was about 150 students. I assume they're all students. 150 kids from like all across Canada. I think there were some kids from like Michigan. I'm trying to remember. I think some kid from Toronto. There was an exchange student from Mexico there.
You mean Santi?
Yeah, you know? No way, that's crazy.
It would have been District 6330, so that's wouldn't include Toronto, would it, Aaron? No,
Not Toronto.
but Michigan for sure.
Michigan, yeah, okay. I can't remember where everyone was from, but yeah, that's so cool that you know. So yeah, we met. There were a few other exchange students as well, but we didn't get to know them like as well because we had like separate groups. There's probably about 25 kids in like each group, and so like we were all split up into different groups. But that's like a good thing too because you get to meet like way more people. Like I thought I would just be with Zen the whole weekend, but like I was with a bunch of people I didn't know, so it was cool to meet a bunch of new people. And yeah, we just there are a bunch of guest speakers that we'll talk about. We had like a schedule for every day of stuff that we had to do throughout the day, and yeah, that's about it.
All right, so our first speaker was Abe Lever. So he talked about creating small habits that can lead to a bigger change, and he talked about eliminating unimportant distractions. So he made this chart for us, and so the important and urgent stuff is in the quadrant 1. So that's like the tasks that you should do immediately. And then not so urgent but still important tasks you should schedule. And then any urgent but unimportant tasks you should delegate, which basically means to give off to someone else to do. And if it's not important and it's not urgent, then you should just eliminate it.
Okay, so Dylan Mendez, he was another speaker we had on the second day, I think. We had like 3 speakers a day, so we learned a lot. But Dylan Mendez, he was a young guy who came in, and he talked about one of his biggest like accomplishments was that him and 3 friends, I think when they were in high school, they started collecting trash every day on the side of the road, like litter, and it was just like 4 of them every week. But then it grew into like this massive organization called Pick Waste, so that was cool. He started like this whole organization. He talked about that, and then his main like message was that small changes can add up over time. So he pulled in like just picking up litter every day, small things like that, they can add up over time, and he showed us that like how it grew into this massive organization. And then the 1 person away from 1 million, that was what was that? Right. Okay. So you meet 1,000 people in your lifetime. Everyone does. You just interact with like 1,000 people. And all those people meet 1,000 people in their lifetime too. So if you make like, I can't remember how we worded it, but if you make a positive impact on every person you meet, they could make a positive, or you're getting close to 1 million people. I think that's the message. I probably said it wrong, but
No, I think I get what you said.
yeah. So you're 1 person away from 1 million. So you can just like reach a lot more people than you think. And yeah, that was about it for him. He was a funny guy. He was like talking to the audience a lot. He had a lot of jokes. So yeah, it was cool.
Alright, so we had Alyssa Twist Light. Her nickname is Twist. I think she twisted both of her ankles. That's how she got it. So she was talking about how connections are important. So she had a lot of connections to people from Europe, people from I think Africa as well. She went on multiple podcasts as well. And so the one quote that she had is that you can change the people around you or you can change the people around you, which basically means that you can either basically change the perspective of the people around you or you can physically just remove those negative minded people. So that was her main quote.
We learned lots of leadership qualities and how to lead people through situations.
The like importance of connections, that was a big thing that they were about. So we got separated into, there was about 100 students, we got separated into 4 or 5 different groups, like the red group, yellow group, and blue group, stuff like that. And so you were with like your group for the whole weekend. So they just got us to like connect, and we had to like, they gave us a bunch of situations like throughout the weekend every day that we had to like get through with the group of people that we had never met before. So it got us to like meet new people, connect with them, and work together. Like I'll give you an example of one. Yeah, so they gave us like a bunch of different random pieces, and there was hidden behind like a sheet, there was this machine that you had to make with all the pieces, and then everyone had like a job, I guess. So like one person could see the machine but they couldn't speak, and then they had to like kind of tell everyone else what the machine looked like without being able to speak. So it was just like weird situations like that where we had to like get to know the people more that we had never met before.
Yeah, there's a lot of focus on social issues in my group specifically. Yeah, I mean, like, just if you meet more people that interact, then you can meet a lot of people from all around the globe. And so you get to learn about the different social issues from their countries, which is pretty interesting to learn about. I think majority of the people were from Canada, but we did have a student, like a few students come from Michigan, like you said. There's a student from Mexico. And yeah, I mean, you can just learn more about their culture and what the issues in their countries are as well.
If you're even thinking about it, for sure, do it next year. Yeah, it was nice of Rotary to provide that for us. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, thank you to Rotary.
Thank Rotary as well.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah,
Yeah?
like
Oh,
yeah, like me. We had like a tight schedule the whole weekend.
Yeah.
From like, we woke up at 6 a.m. and then we had like things every hour, or not every hour, but we had things to do.
woke up
until,
at
like,
6, eh?
Yeah.
Wow, they worked you hard.
Yeah, well, we had the cafeteria because we were at Western University.
Yeah.
So the cafeteria for the university students, that was open for us, which was amazing. But they do that from 7 till 8, and so if you missed that, you wouldn't have food in the morning. So yeah, so we woke up around 6, and then we basically after breakfast we had like things to do every hour until like midnight, and like the second day, yeah, we had like a party at midnight. So yeah, they made it fun.
Yeah.
But it was like a tight schedule.
Yeah.
But where was I going with that? Yeah, so for like an hour on the second day, we got like just time to go outside and just meet everyone that we had been with the whole weekend. So we were playing basketball with some students from Michigan, and yeah, we still are keeping in touch with them.
Cool.
So yeah, that was like, they gave us an hour to just have our own time. So we got to meet some people there, and yeah, we're still keeping in touch with them.
Yeah, and there's like a whole group chat on Snapchat of
Yeah,
everybody in there.
Oh, okay.
The group chat, like 50 people in the group chat or something.
And-
Oh yeah, we all did different things, I think. Like we talked about different things, I guess we did. So that thing I was talking about where you had to build the machine out of the parts, and like we all couldn't see it, but we still had to build it and communicate. I think we all did that.
Yeah, I think
So,
we
like-
all did the same activities,
Yeah.
and then we discussed different things.
Yeah. Because like we had some leaders. I think they were all from Rotary. They all were pretty young. They were all like university students. But the leaders, they all go about like a different. They go about it like a different way because they don't want to talk about the exact same thing with everyone. So they all just brought up different topics, different conversations, stuff like that.